Today I'm bringing back a booktube tried and tested video, and that is the booktube scavenger hunt. Hello everyone, it's Rebecca here and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, how you doing? Welcome! Today, as I've already mentioned, I'm doing a book scavenger hunt. These kind of videos have been doing the rounds on booktube and just book social communities for so long, but when I had a look for one, I couldn't see a video being done recently for ages. It's been a good couple of months, so I thought I would bring it back. And yes, I'm using that little light again, which is what you can see, so it makes it look like I've got like 20 eyes. Anyway, so today I'm bringing you the scavenger tag, the booktube scavenger tag. I'm winging it, to be honest with you. This was an idea I came up with about an hour ago, not gonna lie. So at 8:05 I messaged Vanessa over at Wonderness and I said, I'm thinking about doing a book scavenger hunt video, as in new prompts. It's been done before, I know that, but I'm not sure how to make it unique. Here's a few prompt ideas. And then I listed 12 prompts, and yeah, she checked them all for me to make sure that they were plausible, not too difficult, something that people could have a bit of fun with. And yeah, so there's 12 prompts, there's no time limit, so you can justify your actions if you would like to, or you can not. It's up to yourself if you want to time yourself. If you want to tag people when you do it, feel free to tag them. So I'm doing this at the start because why not? So I'm tagging Vanessa over at Wonderness, Lauren from Lola Long on Twitter, and my god, my memory is shocking. Lauren, you know who you are. I'm tagging you to do this. And Taylor from Made Through the Pages. I'm tagging you guys to do this. Have fun. Tag whoever you want to do it with. If you haven't been tagged but you want to do it, just do it anyway. So I will leave the prompts down below. And yeah, let's just get into it. Question number 1. Your favourite read of the year so far? So this is where it gets difficult because I have 3. I don't know where my third one is typically. I have The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers and Crescent City by Sarah J. Maas. So different. We'll go with this one because the Sarah J. Maas one could be used for a different prompt. So The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet has been by far my favourite read of the year so far, or is up there with one of my favourite reads of the year so far. We follow a ragtag team who kind of just travel the universe, creating and sealing wormholes up to be able to do what they need to do on the other side. We follow this team. It has really good, I say really good rep, but it's aliens. So there is really diverse relationships, as in interspecial relationships, if I remember rightly. The way Becky Chambers writes just makes you feel like you've known everything that you need to know before, as in you go into this book knowing nothing, but by the end it's as if it's common knowledge, and I absolutely love that and adored that in Becky Chambers' writing in this one. So this is my favourite book of the year so far. So as I said, I've got them on my phone. Prompt number 2 is your least favourite read so far. Do I still have that book? That's a good question. I do still have that book. Oh. So I had to go to my unhaul box for this, but that is Infinity Sun by Adam Silvera. I'm not the only one that did not like this book at all, and I'm gutted because it had the premise that a lot of things kind of ticked boxes for me. It was LGBT, it was fantasy, it was like superhero-y, but it was shit. I rolled my eyes so much, and in fact, I've said this before, page 10, which is the start of chapter 2, you did a dress-up day at school and dressed up as Harry Potter to be the chosen one because you were a superhero or something like that. Just why? Yeah, I just didn't like that book at all. It just felt so bad. Prompt number 3 is a book title that starts with one of your initials. So I can choose R or S. Rumblestar by Abby Elphinstone. This is a middle grade novel. I just think it looks really pretty, and I got it for £2.50 in Sainsbury's. And, you know, oh, I've just realised Rumblestar is 2 words. I was going for the R, but I can also count the S. Yes! Double points for me. Not that this is a points game at all, but you know, feels good to know that I'm winning at this game that I've just adapted for the first time ever. Anyway, prompt number 4, a book with a trope you love. Book with a trope I love. Where is it? Book with a trope I love. I don't have, oh no, I do have a copy of that book. What am I doing? I'm chatting shit. What am I doing? Book with a trope I love, Aurora Rising by J. Kristoff and Amy Kaufman. I loved the found family element of this, as in the group of people that just get thrown together and have to deal with it, and you end up having a family at the end of it. I could have used The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet for this one. To an extent, I could have used Crescent City, but this, I loved this so much. So, prompt number 5. Can you guess what that is? It's a book with a trope you hate. So, book with a trope I hate. See, this is a bit of a strange one for me, because for all it's a trope I hate, I love it. And that is the enemies to friends to lovers situation. If you've read this, hunt. That's all I'm gonna say. The enemies to, like, basically your characters don't get on for a while and they kind of go to friends to lovers and you roll your eyes, but it's so good. And that is a trope that I hate, but I just love it and I can't help it. So it's like a love to hate for me. Another trope that I hate that I can't think of being in anything is where the characters basically think they're the be all and end all when they're just a side character. So Crescent City could be used for that too. And moving on. Question number 6. A book written in prose. I have, where's it gone? Haha. Clap When You Land by Elizabeth Acevedo. For this prompt, you can have it written entirely in prose, or you can have it partially in prose. Prose is completely up to you what you deem to be prose, unless it's an actual novel and then it's not prose at all. But for this one, I'm going with Clap When You Land by Elizabeth Acevedo. I had started this one and I was 73 pages into it and just stopped reading it. I feel like a lot of these books, I don't need to describe what they're about. I did with A Long Way, but I feel like I shouldn't have to, if that makes sense. I'll leave a link to the books down below anyway. If you do want to check them out, they will be linked down there. Question number 7, a book with disability rep. So the first one that comes to mind with this one, if I can find it, A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Cameron. I think the main character has cystic fibrosis. I may be wrong. I'm probably very wrong, but I know there is disability rep in this. I've not read it yet, so I don't know if it's positive or negative, but I've heard really good things about this series. Therefore, that makes me think that the rep in this is fairly positive. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments down below, but disability rep. So question number 8 is a book by an author from your home country. You get bonus points if they're in your from your region, country or state. So if you're in America, any American author, but if you live, for example, in Texas and you have a book by an author who is from Texas, double points for you if this was a points game, but it's not. I could go for like loads of these, but I'm gonna go with Making a Mess of My Bookshelves. I'm gonna go with Radio Silence by Alice Oseman. Alice Oseman is from my area as well. She is from the northeast of England, therefore double points for me. Not that I'm pointing this game, but anyway, yes, this counts as Alice is from the UK and is from my region. I think, maybe. I'm sure she's from my region. Anyway, question number 9, a hyped book. All of them. So, a hyped book. Frostheart by Jamie Littler. This has been hyped by anybody who's read it, pretty much. So all I know is that it's middle grade, gives me Polar Express vibes because the little boy, or the main character in this story, can't really call him a little boy, it's middle grade. The main character in this story jumps on a train with his Yeti and goes on an adventure in the middle of the night, as far as I know. But yes, this one has been very hyped by everybody, and the sequel has come out, and yes, I've bought the sequel, and no, I have not read this one. Story of my life. Question 10 is an anticipated read that let you down. You would think for somebody that had created this that I would be quicker at this. I know exactly what I'm picking, but I don't know where it is. Where are you, you shower of shit? Where are you hiding? So this prompt is pretty flexible, so it can be a hyped book by the community, it can be a hyped book for you personally, such as a sequel or the last in a series, or yada yada yada. Evolution by Tom and Giovanna Fletcher. I read Eve of Man earlier on this year and absolutely loved it. It was up there with my top books of the year, but I have lent that book out to my sister and I think I've gotten it back, but I don't know where it is. This follows on from Eve of Man, and Eve of Man follows the concept of a young girl called Eve, who was the first woman born in 50 years, or the first female born in 50 years in this dystopian society. So she gets locked, basically locked in a tower like Rapunzel, and cared for by her elders, the mothers, until one day she decides, what if she doesn't want to be set up with the people they want her to be set up with, and chaos ensues when she tries to break free. So this is the sequel. I'm not going to say too much about it. My thoughts have been mentioned previously in my book channel this year, so if you do want to know more information, I will try and find that for you. I will leave my review link down below as well. But I did feel very let down by this, and it was very, very hyped for myself. Question number 11 is a gifted book. Now, I have loads of these and my mind's just gone completely blank. A gifted book, a gifted book, a gifted book, a gifted book, a gifted book. I have loads of you, why have I not got any of you to hand? Into the Crooked Place by Alexandra Christo. This was gifted to me by Vanessa for Christmas or my birthday, or just because, probably. I'm sure it was for my Christmas or birthday present last year. As I said, I have so many on here that I could pick, but I went with this one because it drew my attention. Vanessa gifted this to me because she knows me so well. She also knows that I haven't read this, probably, so, you know, typical. This follows, it's like a magical world, and it follows 4 crooks who just know how much magic they need up their sleeve to survive. I'm guessing chaos is afoot. But I'm quite interested in this one. Also, it's got a really shiny wording on it. So, gifted book. Thank you, Vanessa, for gifting this to me. And question number 12, which is the last question, is a nice one to end on, I think, and that's a highly anticipated read. Again, this is flexible to yourself, so it can be read, it can be unread, it can be highly anticipated for the community, it can be highly, I don't know what my voice did there, it can be highly anticipated for yourself personally, either because it's an author that you love, or it is a series that you love, anything like that, or you really highly anticipate positive rep, anything. So highly anticipated read for moi is everything on these shelves. No, I need to find a highly anticipated read that I'm genuinely really, really excited about. Right now in my head, oh, Jade City by Fonda Lee. I've mentioned this several times since I purchased it, like literally a month ago, and Taylor from Made Through the Pages, who I did tag to do this video, loves this. Basically, a lot of bigger booktubers love this, and like fantasy booktubers, and just the hype around it. I'm really, really highly anticipating picking this up, and I want to pick this up in November, but I have a reading plan for November that this doesn't involve. So December maybe? But this is definitely highly anticipated. It basically gives me mafia magic vibes. I'm quite excited. So there we have it. That is the book Scavenger tag. Should we call it the 2020 edition? But let me know in the comments down below if you plan on doing this video, if you like the question choices, if you feel my answers are justified as well. I just thought I would bring this back a little bit and switch up a couple of the prompts because I couldn't see some of them in there. Some of them are just the typical kind of prompts. But as I said, the prompts will all be down below in that description box. It's right next to the like and subscribe and the bell icon. If you want to do all 3, that would be fab. If you open that description box, you'll find all of the prompts. You will also find a link to all of my social media channels and potentially the books mentioned in this video. So thank you all so much for watching, and I shall see you all soon with another video. Bye!